YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. All right, we are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? It's shortly after 4 p.m. Pacific time. We got about an hour before that beautiful thing over there sets. The sun sets in about an hour at around 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. I'm out and about on another walk with purpose, episode number 869. Yeah, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition again. This is episode number 869. Back at the SF Bay Trail, the San Francisco Bay Trail here at beautiful Bear Island Marina. And today, we're going to be discussing what's professional nowadays. What's professional nowadays? Not a whole hell of a lot, if I had to start off by saying something. When our future commander-in-chief takes office in January, he was also our former commander-in-chief. We're going to have plenty of more examples regarding a severe lack of professionalism, that is. And I've heard on some other channels out here on YouTube and throughout social media that millennials don't really give a shit about professionalism. Now, that's not all millennials. You have to understand, I think there's a huge divide even within the millennial generation. I would say roughly a little more than half of them define the stereotype perfectly or close to it. And the other half, or a little less than half, defies the stereotype, or they're trying to defy the stereotype because they're tired of being ridiculed for behaving like the stereotype of the majority, right? See, the majority of everything is typically going to win, whether you like it or not, and that's what kind of sucks. That's what kind of sucks regarding certain things. And today, I'm going to share. I've done a stream on this in the past, but there's a lot more to add to it, which is why I'm doing another one with this topic regarding professionalism. And we can never talk about professionalism too much, right? Because there certainly is a lack of professionalism out here on YouTube. There's a lack of professionalism in the real world. And again, President-elect Trump, which is what I'm trying to say, is the king of lacking professionalism, in my opinion. It should be a fact. I've come across a couple of more left-leaning channels. One of them, I believe, is named Midas Touch. I think it's what it is, Midas Touch. Not spelled the typical Midas way. I shared another one of their videos on the community wall here on GNA 2, Genuine Life Personal Development, and he did a video today where he interviewed a California congressman, and he also shared a posting, or like Trump calls them on this on his social media site, Truth Social, Trump posted a truth, which, God, I hate that he calls it that because he's one of the biggest liars that's ever existed. So he creates a platform called Truth Social, which is full of lies. In my opinion, of course, in my opinion, right? And I've never heard him say this before, but he was responding to our California governor out here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom, because Newsom was saying that he's going to challenge Trump at everything. What's up, bro? Says Revelations. Hey, buddy. How you doing, man? What's going on, bro? Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful night. So Trump responded to Newsom's tweet on Twitter X, and Trump called him Gavin Newscum, like as in scumbag. He calls him Gavin Newscum. Hey, Tia, how you doing? Hello, Eli. Hi, Revelations. Welcome to the show, Tia. Great to see you here. Give me a second, Tia. I will be right back. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Give me just 1 second. All right. So we're back. The Revelation says, have the weekend off, just enjoying watching your channel. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Hello, Tia. Well, thank you for that, Revelations. I appreciate it. I really appreciate that, man. I try to be as informative as possible, and real as possible, and as encouraging as possible. Now, I talked to some of my other friends online earlier today, and I'm like, did you guys hear about, Trump calling Gavin Newsom Gavin Newscum? And he's like, dude, where have you been? He's been calling Newsom Newscum for a long time. I'm like, oh shit. I guess that's how much I've tuned out Trump during the Biden administration. And, I was sitting there, in my office. This was like 2-3 hours ago, before I prepared for this stream and came out to do the walk. And I was thinking to myself, I mean, how professional is it for any person of power, like in a corporation, to talk about people like that publicly, but more so, the President of the United States is calling a governor, the governor of the largest and most powerful state in the Union, a state that can stand on its own, a state that has the 5th largest economy in the world, and he calls Newsom new scum. Now, Donald Trump can sit there and run his mouth all he wants. And it's really sad that someone in such a position of power can act so childish and petty and call other people in the government names, right? I mean, what are you, Don? Are you like the government bully? Are you like the schoolyard bully? Like, honestly, like what's the need? Why the need to call people names? Why can't we just address people? Is it because you're an actor more than anything, and you know that most of the people that voted for you are going to laugh at that and consider you, oh, you're the most rawest and realist because you don't sit there and kiss people's asses and you're not overly professional. He's not professional at all. I agree, over professionalism is not great, but being unprofessional is not good either. But is he really the problem, or is it people that support him and that type of behavior? Because honestly, and with no disrespect intended to anyone, when you vote for someone like that, you're basically saying it's okay to call other people in the government names. It's okay to act like a little childish baby that had his toy taken away. Every governor has the responsibility to take care of their state independent of the federal government. And that's all Newsom and some other governors across the country are doing. And they're just putting out some strong messages because they know how Trump has been. They're like, if you fuck with our state, we're going to fuck with you. We're not going to make it easy for you to come in here and ruin what we've built. Right? And another thing, Trump has been threatening to remove federal aid from California. So Trump, you're going to threaten to remove federal aid from the state that contributes the most amount of tax dollars to the federal government? Okay. Okay. Today we're talking about professionalism. What's professional? What's considered professional nowadays, right? What's considered professional? Yeah, go check out that video on my community wall from, I believe it's called the Midas Touch channel. It was very interesting, and I think Trump even deleted that posting where he called Newscum from his Truth Social account. I went to Truth Social and I couldn't see it there. But the guy had screenshot it. And he shared it. He showed it in his video. So the way to get attention now and get elected and get the people to like you is to be a scumbag yourself, right? Is to basically act like a little kid and call other people in government names because they're opposite party and you disagree with how they want to handle, their particular states, right? You want to call them names, right? That's why I stand tall. Like a few streams ago, I called Trump a troll. I got it wrong. I called Trump a troll. I called Trump a troll, and I'm still going to say Trump is trolling us. That's what he does on Truth Social. Instead of Truth Social, it should be called Lying Central. That's my opinion. I've been laughing all day. Every time I think of the name Newscum, I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at Gavin. I'm laughing at Trump. I'm laughing at Trump and his stupidity and his insanity, right? And the nerve he has to put that out there publicly as the president-elect. This is my problem that I have with people nowadays, especially more than half the millennial generation that thinks this is okay. They think this is the way to, relate to people. A lot of millennials have said, "Oh, Trump relates to us." So you like picking on people and making fun of people and saying shitty things about people's names, right? Oh, it's just a parody and it's just a meme and everyone does it and it's perfectly legal and it's fair use and whatever you think it is, it's all good. But how would you feel if that was done to you? And there are people that have done this shit that Trump does to people. There are people out here on YouTube that have done this shit to other people like Trump does to people, right? And then when other people, retaliate and make memes on the original meme creator, then the original meme creator says, "Oh, why are you attacking me?" Well, you attacked them first. A lot of these millennials think that, oh, okay, we can meme you and parody you and do all this shit to your intellectual property and we can deface you, we can call you whatever the fuck we want. It's within our freedom of speech and fair use rights. But you can't do the same to us, because the moment we do it to them, they start to threaten us, right? How does it work that way? I mean, how fair is that? What kind of a human being does that make you, right? I'm not whining and complaining that Trump's in office. What I'm saying is that you folks voted him in there. Do you understand or realize what you voted for? Revelations, I have to agree. Most politicians are corrupt. You're right about that. I believe in freedom, says Revelations. Revelations, when you say that you believe in freedom, what prompted you to say that? Because there's nothing else that you said. Are you trying to impose that you're happy Trump's in office because you feel more free with Trump in office? Because there's nothing. I'm not upset. I want to talk. We can talk about it. This is great. We can talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. What do you mean that you believe in freedom? When you say you believe in freedom, what does that mean? Read the above comments. It explains it. I don't see another comment from you, dude. Did you try to post something and then go through? All I see is I believe in freedom. Revelations, can you post again? Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't know why I don't see it. Tia, do you see what Revelations put there? Because I don't see it. Yeah, Revelations, can you put that in the chat again? Because I did not see that. It's not showing up on my screen here, so I don't know what you're talking about. It could be a glitch on my end. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I think I'm only going to do 3 miles today instead of the typical 3.5. I'm not going to go to the observation deck. While we wait for that, in my opinion, professionalism is professionalism. You either have it or you don't. Professionalism is not defined by how each generation defines it. So you millennials cannot define what professionalism means, as a millennial. Well, maybe you could say what it means to you, but that doesn't define it. Professionalism, you either have it or you don't. It doesn't matter what generation you're from. And a lot of you millennials don't have professionalism. You lack professionalism. You do. And that's why you relate to Trump. Trump's relatable to you because you lack professionalism just like he does. That's my opinion, right? And to people that are okay with name calling and, you know, bullying people, if you're okay with bullying, because that's bullying. In essence, what Trump is doing to Newsom, he's bullying him on Truth Social by calling him Gavin Newscum. Gavin Newscum. How fucking pathetic is that? Seriously, there's never been any other president in the history of our country here that's ever treated people like this guy treats people. And I'm not trying to be mean to you or anything like that. I know you people support him. It's all good. I'm all good with that. I'm just sharing my thoughts and saying I've never seen anyone in such a high authority position speak about people in this way, belittle people in this way, bully them, right? Again, that's why I think Trump is just a troll. He's trolling us on Truth Social. He can also troll us on Twitter as well, Twitter X, because now Musk owns it, and now Trump and Musk are all buddy-buddy. All of them are buddy-buddy, right? The corruption is already being put into place, right? Go figure, right? And because us Californians here, we don't want to be a part of the corruption, and we want to keep on progressing, unlike Trump does. Trump wants to live old school, right? Trump wants to, live by the Old Testament of the Bible or some shit like that, right? Because we're progressing here in California, and we don't want Trump to stop our progression, which has been great for us. Our governor stands up for the entire state and says, look, big bad Donnie, I'm not going to let you bully the people here. You're going to have to go through me, big boy. Want to go 12 rounds, big boy Donnie? I'll take you 12 rounds. I'll tell you this, Newsom's in way better shape and way better looking than Trump. No disrespect intended. I'm just saying. Newsom in a physical fitness test and probably a mental fitness test as well would destroy Trump. Newsom's in great shape, good-looking guy, dresses sharp, right? Great public speaker, very professional, and very real. Newsom will not kiss your ass. He'll be firm, but he'll be fair, and he will not belittle people. He will not stoop down to Trump's level. He will not do that. He's never done that. So because he stands up, he says, I'm ready for you. And then Trump gets super triggered on that posting and writes back in caps and, Newscom's trying to ruin our beautiful state of California. No, he's not. He's been one of the best things that's ever happened to California. I don't like some of what Trump says. I feel he can do a better job than Harris. Well, that's fine. I respect your opinion, Tia. I respect your opinion. I want to see him do that better job, and then let's see what happens, because the last time he was in office, he had the lowest approval of any president ever when he was leaving. So let's see what happens. I'm stating facts. Revelations, I can't see. Did you try to post something again? Because you're probably using block words and what you're saying is not going through. Do me a favor, Tia. Can you copy and paste, or can you type what Revelations is putting? Because I don't think his message is going through. I think he's getting blocked by the block words list. Yeah, I can't see a thing. Can you see what Revelations is putting there, Tia? Yeah, 2025 is going to be an interesting year. 2025 is going to be the breakout year of the GNA. And once Trump gets into office, I'm telling you, this is going to be some of the best TV you're ever going to see. With all these governors going toe to toe, with all these governors in blue states going toe to toe with Trump. This is going to be, God, this is going to be the biggest drama shit show we've ever seen. Ever. Oh boy. Like they say, grab your popcorn, folks. I've got Pop Secret at home. You know, with the extra movie butter version, because Don and I love extra butter. We put it in the microwave for 2 minutes and 50 seconds, and boom, you got a fresh pop bag of corn. So grab your popcorn. It's going to be an interesting 4 years ahead. You're going to want to invest in some popcorn stock. Or corn stock. If you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you. I posted a lot. You need to know what I posted. I don't believe in censorship. Okay. All right. So, yeah, apparently some of the words you're using are part of our block words list here, Revelations. I'm sorry about that. And it's not going through. I'm seeing some of your posts. You say that you don't believe in censorship. So let's talk about that from that point. And respectfully, right? Because I like you. I'm assuming you're probably a Trump supporter and you're conservative, right? Like Tia, no problem, right? It's all good. Just want to be clear that no problem. Let's talk about it though, okay? So you're talking about. I'm assuming what you're saying is that you're happy Trump's in office because you feel that the leftists are trying to censor people on the right. Is that what you're thinking? I have dealt with this for the last 6.5 years. And I would love to share my opinion because I don't think you've heard it. But you're thinking that it's a good thing that we have Trump in office because he's going to stop censorship, right? No, I'm not a supporter of this government. I don't like any politician. Oh, okay. Okay, so you didn't vote for anyone? You didn't vote at all, or? All right. Tia says, I saw Revelations comments before, but they are gone now. Can you briefly try to kind of tell me what he was saying, Tia? In a roundabout way. You know, here's the thing. You know, many conservatives have complained over the last 6 years that the left is trying to silence them, right? They've been saying companies like YouTube and Facebook, because they're here in California, which they call us Commifornia. The only communist I know is Donald Trump. He's a communist. He wants to run things for himself and basically brainwash the people to do whatever he wants them to do, right? That's called communism, right? So we're not Commifornia here. We run things that have worked for us and that made us the fifth, richest place on the planet. We have the fifth biggest economy in the world in California alone. So I think that speaks for itself, right? But no one's being silenced. There's no left-wing or right-wing agenda. There's not. All these companies, their agenda is to keep you on their platforms longer so they make money. They sell you ads. Same thing with the mainstream media. They want to keep you watching longer so they get more sponsors. When the sponsors know that there are more people watching their commercials, they're more prone to pay more for their commercials and put more of their commercials out there. on the same networks, right? So there's no agenda to silence anyone. The problem I've seen is that Republicans, conservatives, same thing. They like to push the boundaries a lot to get attention. That's what Trump does. When you do that on social media, you're violating the terms of service. Not because you're conservative, not because you're liberal, but because you're an idiot for violating the terms of service. It has nothing to do with your political party preference. But that's what people do. It's like playing the black card or the Hispanic card, right? Right? That's what people do. When they know they're wrong and they have no other way of winning, a lot of people will play the race card, will play the gender card. They'll play the liberals are trying to silence us, right? You play the card, right? That's what people do that are lazy, inconsiderate, and very selfish and have a huge lack of professionalism. Revelations talked about the government and the New World Order. Thanks, Tia, for helping. And he voted for Jesus Christ. What about the New World Order? Revelations. What about it? I'm telling you, what happened during this election is an eye opener, not only for Democrats, but for people that were undecided that ended up going for Trump. The people that are like right in the middle and they can go either way, right? The swing vote, right? Which way can you swing their vote, right? And who was that? I can't remember what his name was. The congressman that the Midas Touch channel had on that was talking about Donald Trump's posting in response to Gavin Newsom saying he's going to protect California from Trump, and then Trump called him Gavin Newscum. I can't remember what that guy's name was. And I totally forgot what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. I had something really interesting to say, but I lost my train of thought. Give me a second here. Oh yeah, I remember what he was going to say. Give me a second. I remember what he said. You can't trust any of them. Well, to a certain extent, I'll agree with you on that, Revelations. But some are worse than others, right? What I'm big on, Revelations and Tia and anyone else, is professionalism. I don't care if every freaking millennial, Gen Zer, new generation, I don't care even if people from my generation think I'm trying to be too professional or overly professional. That's who I am. I have professionalism. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. But I don't constantly make the same mistakes. I learn from them and I move on. Oh, what's going on over here? Is this another path that they built? I know they were working on something over there. This has got to be probably a part of the new trail or something. Anyway, we'll find out one day. Eli, in all honesty, I would vote for you for president because I know you're not compromised. Wow, that's very kind of you to say, man. How do you know I'm not compromised? I'm just curious. Because you're right, I'm not compromised. I actually care about both sides. I'm actually more down the middle. I identify slightly more on the left because I lean a little more, towards progression, which liberals support, and most conservatives don't. I know you're not by the Spirit. Well, that means a lot, bro. That actually means a lot. And no, I'm not compromised. And one way to prove it is if I was compromised, I would have done the same stupid shit that Trump has done and that other millennials have done out here on this platform to make money. If I would have compromised my morals, values, and ethics, I would have been the biggest drama shit disturber YouTube's ever seen, and I would have made millions by now. But you want to know something? I have morals, values, and ethics, and my heart and soul, my head won't allow that. Even if I tried to do it physically, my brain wouldn't allow me to do it. I just can't. That's not who I am. I know I can trust you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot. You should be careful on who you trust, right? But I get it, man. I get it. I don't come out here trying to sell people a pipe dream, right? I don't put out crazy GoFundMe saying that, I'm going through this and that and I need this money and try to screw people over. Oh, yeah, this is my GoFundMe for my my law fund because I'm about to get sued. I need to get an attorney, right? Yeah, right. And then when it doesn't happen, do you refund your supporters the money? No, you don't. You keep that money because that was part of your scam. And I'm talking in general here. There are many people on YouTube I've seen do that. It's absolutely, absolutely pathetic and very disturbing to me and very, at the very least, very unethical. At the very, very, very least, very unethical. And ethics are very important to me. And I think that's why you probably feel you can trust me. That is a very kind compliment. I really appreciate that, Revelations. But, you know, my ethics are way up here. Now, I have made mistakes, but they were honest mistakes. I corrected those mistakes. If I had to apologize for certain things, I did. And that's that, right? You're the most honest guy I've heard on YouTube, and I mean it from the heart. I really do appreciate that, brother. Do you feel, Revelations, that other YouTubers that you watch, and I know probably Pedro Santiago is one of them. Do you feel other YouTubers are in it just for the money? And they're just trying to put whatever they can out there to rake up their views? Now, don't get me wrong. I want more views too. And I want to make more money too, but I want to do it the right way with real content that truly and genuinely helps people. That's why in 2011 I created the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. That's why the organization is called Genuine, because that defines me. The founder of any organization is defined by the name of their organization. The founder of any organization is defined by the name of their organization. That's why I call mine the Genuine Networking Association, because all we wanted to do is connect people at no cost or low cost, right? We're not looking to get rich. We're not looking to make millions. We're just looking to make enough to run the organization and pay our bills so we can help as many people as possible at low cost, or preferably when possible, no cost. Because I believe there are certain things in this world that everyone should have an opportunity to participate in, such as personal development. And most people that teach personal development at the level I do charge a lot of money for it. And they don't even give you half or a third of the value that we give you. The others are liars, and yes, Santiago's an example. Revelations, I have said the same to Eli. I feel extremely fortunate to have Eli as a friend along with the others in the GNA. And thank you, Tia, for, and I say this wholeheartedly, I know I'm saying a lot of things about Trump here today, and I know you support Trump, and I know you don't like some of the things he does, but you feel, he could do a decent job in office with certain things that liberals probably weren't going to be able to do, in your opinion, and I respect that. I do. But I'm very grateful that, you come here and let me have my say and be real. Because if I see a lot of people out here on YouTube, like Revelation says to you, a lot of people will pretend to be conservative just to take your money. And if you've heard of the phrase, ain't got a lie to kick it, I heard that a few times in my younger days, right? I met a few women that thought all I was looking for was a one night stand, and I wasn't. I've always been looking for a relationship because I would say nice things, right? I was a decent dude. And the women would say, Eli, ain't got a lie to kick it. I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, I really didn't know what that meant, right? Because I wasn't lying. But now I get it, right? They thought I was trying to say whatever to get in their pants, right? So I've taken that phrase to heart nowadays, and I'll come out to people like Tia and say, I ain't gonna lie to kick it, right? I'm not gonna lie to kick it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm still going to be your friend and still respect who you are at a core, despite our political party differences. And Tia's a great example of that. I really appreciate that. I really do. Because Tia, you don't want anyone kissing your ass. But you also don't want somebody, being crazy mean to you, right? Like, you want to have a real conversation with someone. You want to have engagement that's interesting, right? And inspirational and different, right? Because the same old shit is boring, and we don't learn from the same old shit, right? God will bless you, Eli, as long as you stay humble and honest. Those who lie will not prosper. Revelation says, thanks, Tia. As long as you're honest as you are, it's okay to make money by helping people. Well, I appreciate that, man. I really do. I really appreciate that. I feel we're in a modern world that is struggling to understand the meaning of professionalism. And I've talked about this many times over the years. I've talked a lot about many topics over the last 6 years. And, every now and then I'll revisit some based on the circumstances, based on whatever's currently happening in our world or in our country here in the U.S. or in my state or whatever, right? When it makes sense, I'll revisit things. But I got to say, I'm just very disappointed by the lack of professionalism, the lack of common courtesy and common decency, right? And here's the thing, every human being should have some tolerance or little tolerance for people making a joke at your expense every now and then, right? But then there are those people that constantly pick on and harp on and gang up on one person, right? Like what's happened to me, right? And that's what isn't right. That's very unprofessional. That's very selfish, very inconsiderate. That's very childish and immature behavior. The reason why we're lacking tons of professionalism by more than half of the millennials out there is because of your lack of maturity. Your lack of maturity is what's preventing you from being professional. If you're not mature, how the hell can you be professional? Professionalism is one of the highest levels of maturity, and if you're not mature, there's no way you can be professional. Tia, I was sharing with you some things. I'm not going to mention them here publicly, but I was sharing with you some things that the GNA is going to be really doing to combat bullying and harassment in the new year and beyond. And, some of the relationships that we're making, that's going to be incredible. And I am just really, really excited at some of the things the GNA is going to be even able to do to help make the online world a safer place. We really are going to be looking to build relationships with social media platforms. We're also going to be looking to build relationships with the FBI that's in charge of, cyber crimes, which cyberbullying and the harassment aspect of cyberbullying is the lowest thing on the totem pole. So we need to help out the FBI by, scouring the internet and looking for things that just aren't right, or some people that are being really bullied, really harassed. Some people have been so bullied and harassed to the point of where they've taken their own lives. We want to prevent that here at the GNA. They call that suicide trolling. I've seen that happen. And it's horrible. It's the worst thing. It's the absolute worst thing, right? And we're going to take a strong stance against that. And there are already some things that I have in place that will hopefully be ready by the new year, or at some point between the new year and summertime of 2025. It looks like the sun has gone down behind those buildings and those mountains. Hasn't fully set yet, but it will be setting any second. The moon's out there. Look at that. The moon's up there. You can barely see it. I'm not going to zoom in. We got a good audience here of 20 people that I truly know you really want to be here. So please, feel free to chat. Don't be afraid to chat here for whatever reason. You're more than welcome to share your opinions as long as you're being respectful. Even if your opinions are completely opposite of mine or anyone else's here, as long as you're respectful like Tia and Revelations, you're welcome to stay and have a conversation with us. And we can all further learn more from each other. Don't be afraid to chat. I'll be taking up the shades very soon. Yes, very positive conversations. Looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely, Tia. Absolutely. And yeah, Tia's been sworn to secrecy, and so has Sandra and my girlfriend Dawn. Those three women know pretty much everything. And I trust them that they won't put out a peep until we're ready to publicly announce certain things. But let me tell you something. When you run certain types of organizations, especially, if you're um, especially if you're like a limited liability company or a corporation. Give me a second here. Give me 1 second here. You see back there? You see right back there on the right side there? That's a tent. I think there's a homeless person living there. I've never seen any homeless person live out here. You can't even really notice him because he's kind of blocked by that tree, but wow. God bless that person, male or female, whoever it is. It's really gotta suck. But yeah, when you're a cause-based organization and you have accounts on social media for many years that are in very good standing. So here's the thing. You just can't have any organization that you just pop up. You got to have a history on the social media platforms, and it has to be a very, very good one. Like I have a very good history on YouTube. Been monetized for years on 2 channels. My channels are clean. My Twitter X is very clean for well over 10 years. Same with Facebook. Right? We're looking at almost 15 years on those social media platforms, right? When you have that kind of history and you're consistently doing the right thing, okay? A lot of these companies start to trust you as a non-government organization, trust you to work with them in some capacity to help them combat like bullying and harassment and stuff like that. Okay? And so, I'm not going to get into the details of it, but that's something that I'm working towards with many social media companies. And you know what the cool thing is that most of them are literally right here in San Mateo County where I live, or Santa Clara County. Most of them I can just drive to in 30 minutes or less. So if you want to have a coffee meeting or whatever, and you want to get to know me, you don't have to fly me anywhere. I don't have to fly. I'll come meet you on my own dime. Heck, I'll take you to a coffee. Thank you for the opportunity to work with you folks, right? So despite what you've seen so far out of myself, despite seeing maybe not the largest growth on my channels or on my live streams, there's a bigger picture to all of this. There's a bigger picture to all of this. And those of you that have become early adopters here at the GNA, the Genuine Networking Association, will benefit the most. Now, we will always help everyone, but the early adopters like Tia and Sandra and Revelations and other people that we've gotten to know, like, and trust before we get really busy, you will benefit tremendously from this because you've been here from the very beginning. We've gotten to know, like, and trust you. We're more prone to help you out in certain things down the road, right? Meaning that, if we, charge for an event, like let's say we charge for an online seminar at some point, $5, we'll give it to you for free. 5 or 10 or 15 bucks. People we've gotten to know, like, and trust, we'd invite you for free. Now, we do that, based on you continuing to support us by sharing our videos and events and other stuff, right? And it doesn't cost any money or much time to share something out, right? But we want to thank the early adopters because that's where it all starts. That's where it all starts. Ooh. I'm going to pull up to the side, wait for this guy to... My apologies. I had to return a phone call real quick. That can bypass my do not disturb list. So we're all good. It was important. Everything's all good. But anyway, yeah. There's a lot of good stuff coming in 2025. And right now, I've been in progress of basically clearing the lane, right? I've been kind of like cleaning up shop is a good way to put it. I've been laying the groundwork, laying the foundation to the future. Part of laying the groundwork and the foundation to the future, which is what I'm trying to say, is taking care of rodents, figuratively speaking, of course, taking care of rodents and exterminating them, right? So I've been exterminating rodents. And sometimes you got to do that, to clear the lane and move things forward. So, I've been doing that. I've been massively brainstorming with my girlfriend, Dawn. And again, we've got the Super Chat goals here that we're running daily. As soon as we get at least 5 Super Chats on one stream here on Coach Eli, on GNA 2. We're not Coach Eli anymore, although we could be if we want to. Whenever we get a minimum of 5 Super Chats at $5 a piece minimum, then Dawn will come back earlier than the beginning of the new year because she's taking a sabbatical for right now. She'll come back and she'll do a stream with me and her and I will update everyone. So if you want that, early access to that, $25. 5 people pitch in $5. That's fair, isn't it? It's not like we're asking for hundreds or thousands, And if that doesn't happen, then, in the new year, at that point, we'll share things at that time. And by that point, we'll probably have even more to share than we have now. But Don and I have also talked about something that we're calling strategic rollout, okay? So, Don and I sat down and we talked and we're like, from this point on, but more so even in 2025, or more so in 2025, which is what I'm trying to say, we're going to do what's called strategic rollout. We're not going to throw everything out at once. We're going to focus more on anticipation buildup, right? We're going to focus more on gradually putting things out and allowing more time for people to absorb what we put out before we just put everything out there. So there's a lot that's been going on for preparation. And I so look forward to an amazing 2025. Let me see. Very nice plane gliding slowly there. And it's going to turn and head towards the airport. All right. What a beautiful skyline, I'll tell you that. So there's lots of new relationship building behind the scenes going on, and Don and I will announce a lot of that. We may, if we hit one of our super chat goals, we may share a little bit on the show before the end of the year if that happens, pending hitting one of our super chat goals here one of these days, or at the beginning of the year, the new year, we'll share some stuff, and as the year progresses, we'll share a lot more. But we've got a lot of things that we're putting together behind the scenes. Lots of relationship building. We're going to call it that, relationship building. And lots of joint efforts and lots of collaborations. We'll call it that. We'll get into more detail as as we need to. So, yeah, professionalism. Personally, I'm disappointed at the lack of professionalism. The way I was raised, like I've said many, 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 many times out here, the way I was raised was to treat others the way I'd want to be treated. And that's what I always try to do. Do I get it wrong every now and then? I think everyone does. Definitely everyone does. Right? But for the most part, my intentions are to treat people the way I'd want to be treated. And despite me treating everyone for the most part the way I'd want to be treated, I've gotten lots of backlash, especially out here on YouTube, for treating people kindly. I've gotten backlash solely on the fact that I'm a slight left liberal and my views are a little different. It's pretty sad. And here at the GNA, part of what we're going to try to start doing in 2025 is uniting conservatives and liberals. And part of that, my girlfriend Donna and I are slight left, and Santa Palacio and Tia are slight right. And I started talking. Well, I'll mention this to you. I started talking with Tia behind the scenes that we need to do some shows. You, Sandra, Tia, myself, and Dawn, and call it the left and the right can really get along, or something like that. We'll figure it out. It's going to be, a collaboration show of honest and ethical liberals and conservatives having positive conversations while disagreeing on certain things. And that's fantastic. That's how it should always be. And that's what we're going to also pump out in the new year. The GNA really wants to make a difference, not only here where we're at in California. We want to make a difference in the entire U.S., and we even further want to make a difference in the entire world. And we have lots of global resources now, thanks to YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. We have global resources. And you're going to see some amazing things really start to happen online. Not just on YouTube, but on the overall internet. You're going to see some amazing things. Shoot. I don't know how long I was muted for. You're going to start seeing some amazing things. Tia, are you still there? If you're there, can you let me know if I was muted for a long time? I don't think I was. I think it was just for a second. No, you weren't. Thank you, Tia. Appreciate that. Really do. All I'm going to say is this, Tia. Every single day, you can make that for whatever it is. All right, folks. We are at 68 minutes. I'm going to get going. I'm not going to walk over by the marina. I'm going to spend some time with my lady. And we're going to have some nice premium hot dogs tonight from one of our favorite local hot dog restaurants around here. And just, finish up Baby Reindeer. That's just the weirdest movie I've ever seen on Netflix, but I get the point. It's about, a woman being a very, literally big, creepy stalker. And Donna was here yesterday from the UK. That's one of our, one of our friends and resources out there. She was saying it's a true story. And then I'm going to go to the Piers Morgan YouTube channel where Donna was saying that Piers Morgan actually interviewed the real woman. So I'm curious to hear that story. Thanks for chatting, Elon Revelations. Thank you, Tia. Really appreciate it. With that being said, y'all have yourselves a wonderful night. I should be back tomorrow for another show at some point, probably earlier. And that's that. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. Good night, everyone.